best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
This championship attraction brought to you courtesy of Top Rank Incorporated and DeBella Entertainment in association with Nemiroff and Madison Square Garden. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Suleiman. The supervisor is Bob Malignaggi, along with the New York State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Ron Scott Stevens. Judging this bout from ringside, Malvina Lathan, Fred Ucci, and Steve Weisfeld. And our third man to the ring, the referee in charge, Arthur Mercanti. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing for the WBC Continental America's Middleweight Championship. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring wearing maroon trunks and hailing from Chicago, Illinois. He weighed in at 157 pounds. His record stands at 25 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the challenger, Freddie Classy Cuevas. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing green trunks with gold trim, hailing from Derry, Ireland, now fighting out of New York City. He weighed in at 158.5 pounds, undefeated in his professional campaign, 16 wins, no losses, 14 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the hard-hitting and undefeated WBC Continental America's middleweight champion, introducing Ireland's John Duddy. Ten rounds of championship boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Our referee in charge, Arthur Mercanti, now to give instructions.
Good evening, gentlemen. You received your rules early in the night by the New York State Athletic Commission. I expect a good, clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Well, guys, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more exciting night at Madison Square Garden in boxing. I mean, I've been in a lot of them over the years. You guys have as well. And it's this mix of interest, the various rooting groups on this card tonight is just unbelievable. And these are kids that have gone out and proven themselves and made themselves popular because of their success, their style, and this is just a lot of fun. That's really what I'm trying to say. How can you have more fun at a fight night than what we've got going here? Isn't it great?
Cuevas seems to be mad. Just the idea that the crowd was not giving him any applause. He's got something to prove.
Freddie Cuevas from Chicago, Illinois. Big Mexican population there. Same surname as Cuevas. Yeah. But he's no relation to the great Pepino. A proud of Mexican heritage, an American from Chicago, Illinois. Experienced fighter with 17 knockouts, George, in his 25 fights.
Cuevas, you can see he's just upset. No one's giving me any respect.
Give it clean.
John Duddy, undefeated in 16 pro fights. It's only his 3rd fight over 10 rounds. This scheduled for 12, and he took a left shot there from Cuevas.
You know what, Tim? Cuevas is a veteran guy. He believes that Duddy can only fight one way, and it's the way he's fighting right now. Coming forward, you know, not much side-to-side movement. Cuevas thinks he can out-slick Duddy. So far, it looks like he has a chance.
Absolutely. He's been counterpunching really effectively, landing that right hand, finding the opening in this first round.
Duddy seems to be steady with his left jab. He's steady, keeps his hands up. It's going to be hard to get him a shot unless you catch him in a wild exchange. Like a fight with his hands up.
Both these guys had a lot of amateur fights. Cuevas had 60 amateur fights. He won 50 of them. Chicago Golden Gloves champion twice, 93, 94. You know, there's a lot of tough guys there. Duddy lands to the body. Duddy with 130 amateur fights. Irish national champion in 3 age divisions, the way they work it over there. Persuaded to come and turn pro in the U.S. Living now here in Queens, New York. One of the 5 boroughs of the city of New York.
Now, 2 things to watch, excuse me, George, with Cuevas are he suffered a really nasty cut to the top of his head in a fight a couple of years back, but in his most recent fight, the Kassim Umar, he got cut in the left eyelid, which cost him the fight. So let's take a look, make sure that that doesn't recur.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit cautious, moving away. So that may be some of the reason, understanding that he may get cut open.
And George, I don't want to raise the age issue again as I did with Kelly, but he is 36 also.
Oh, the age is not a problem. Stay out of the age.
I knew you were going to. That's why I offered that up.
Let's put it this way. All 3 of us would love to be 36.
Give me 36. I'll show you what to do with it.
Crowd chanting Duddy, Duddy, Duddy. I mean, even the non-Irish here, naturally, he's a New Yorker, so he's going to have the bulk of the crowd no matter what. End of round number 1, scheduled for 12. Going to the corner of John Duddy. Got a couple of big Americans working in that corner with him.
Where's the spit bucket?
Both those guys are bigger than you, George.
You know, that's the one thing about America. We've imported some great trainers of all sports all over the world, and it's coming back to haunt us now.
You know what I'm saying? Take your time. He don't want to be there. What are you trying to do?
I thought you were going to say we're getting bigger and bigger. That too.
But you know, you see some of those trainers coming in and teaching these boxers from over the country, and the talent.
Second round coming up, gentlemen.
Now we're looking in the Cuevas corner, and his trainer is Alfonso Ortiz. Looking back in the action of the first round.
Hooked by Cuevas.
See,
Try to follow with the right hand.
He's a pro. I mean, he's going to do that.
He knows what he's doing. A little counter punch.
I think his counter punching was good enough to give him the round number 1.
Yep.
That's how I scored it.
Definitely the most seasoned guy Duddy's faced yet.
And in the interest of full disclosure, I am Irish.
Oh, okay.
That will have no bearing on your scoring.
Not only that, I also have to disclose I'm a graduate of the University of Notre Dame.
What do we have here? It's a coup.
Anything going in the main event, Tim? Tell us.
Duddy lands a left hook.
Boy, when a man can punch like Duddy, you just don't know what to do. I mean, Cuevas has touched a bit of that, taste a bit of that power, and he's really trying to avoid some more of it.
He's stalking and looking to come in. He goes to the body and head.
But the good thing, Duddy does not use his head, doesn't move his head at all. That's the good thing. You can always land a shot.
Ooh! Right hand behind that left. And then he lands a left hook behind it. Backing up Cuevas here in round 2.
That's certainly the fight that Duddy wants. He wants to get in there and exchange punches. He thinks he's the bigger puncher here, and he probably is.
Oh, it's evident.
That was a great right uppercut he landed.
Watching this man, that is, sizing him up, waiting for one big shot. Cuevas just seems to be trying to stay out of harm's way, trying to recover a little bit from that power punch.
Oh, yes. Boy, he's got pretty good hands, Duddy.
He's quick.
Yeah. Raise the chin of Cuevas. Cuevas backing away, reduce some of the impact. Oh, and a good combination by Cuevas. Got a little bit short with the follow-up right.
Now, one thing to remember about Duddy is he's almost 27 years old. He's only been boxing a couple of years. So even though he's a full-grown man, yeah, but as a professional boxer, he's kind of a baby. He's still growing.
And I like that because the muscles on a boxer doesn't seem to really develop until he's about 25. And if he's still able to produce at that age, you can get nothing but production. Most kids start so early that they're done by that age.
Good defensive work by both fighters in the last couple of exchanges. Referee is Arthur McConte Jr.
Man, that's a great name for referee.
For sure.
Heard that one before, huh?
One of the all-time greats. We've got a lot of bloodlines happening here tonight.
On Belmont Saturday in New York.
Right. And Duddy finishes with a flurry, landing a combination at the bell.
Sit back, man. Third round coming up. Third round.
In the corner of Alfredo Cuevas.
Staying too low. He's staying too low.
Boy, there's that right hand. There's the hook. Duddy misses, gets caught with an uppercut himself, but he comes back with a right hand.
You have to like that about Duddy. You know, I mean, he took a good shot there, but he fired right back at George with a combination of his own. He's an eager, tough kid. Cuevas, experienced pro, showing the tricks he's learned over his career. He's had double the number of fights that Duddy has as a pro.
And we see some left jab by Duddy. He's got a powerful left jab. He's got to use it a bit more, though.
See, what they were telling Cuevas in his corner, George, is to get low because he can't match Duddy for height. Duddy's the taller guy. You got to get underneath him, and so far he hasn't been able to do that.
That's
right. Straight up, he gets nailed.
When you're in with a taller fighter, don't try to match height. Make them come low with you.
You didn't have to deal with that very often in your career, George.
I would always use my height.
Body blow was low, but you see that again, Cuevas just knowing when to go to the body in that counter shot.
And that was a lead right hand by Duddy. So this guy's got, for that few years of boxing, he's got a little repertoire of punches.
I think Cuevas got to get a little bit busier, George, if he has any chance to win this fight. He cannot do this by sneaking in one counter punch at a time.
And he's being out-jabbed by Duddy, too, so you wouldn't think the seasoned pro would allow a... And he misses in the bob and weave exchanges.
And Cuevas acknowledged the opening that he gave him.
Look at that left jab.
Nice looking jab, isn't it?
That's a left jab, and it's like a right hand. He's sticking it. Look at that. Just look at that.
And he's definitely got Cuevas backing up here. A little less eager to force the issue. Duddy continues just to work his way slowly forward and keep control of the action. Nicely timed step away on the counter punch.
Duddy drops his left hand when he backs away. That's not a good thing to have.
You know, it's funny because Cuevas had this fight absolutely figured out when I talked to him. Everything he said about Duddy yesterday is absolutely true today. He's coming straight forward, doesn't really change up a lot, pretty easy to hit. Cuevas hasn't been able to capitalize on it one bit.
Sometimes those fists, and a guy like Duddy, they hurt you and it takes away your sensible thinking.
It's like in theory it was a good idea, but in practice.
Cuevas landed a low blow, and Duddy let him know that he noticed it.
Duddy continued to drop his left hand when he moved back.
He's not being made to pay for it at all.
Ooh, almost. Yeah, almost. That's a definite almost. He was open. There's that jab backing away Cuevas again. Final seconds of round number 3.
Duddy can win this fight with a left jab.
Duddy did most of the work in the round, just forcing the issue. Go to the corner of Cuevas, and Richie Espinoza will tell us what they're saying.
What's happening? What's happening here? You're letting him get in. Just don't let him get in like that. You got to understand, you got to get low, come in. Use both your hands. Go to the body. Use your right. Use your right. Get back. Move around.
Combination together. You're doing one punch at a time. I'm going to just cut the ring off. Stop, follow him. Step over.
Misses him. Ooh, misses him. And you don't expect a bigger guy to bob and do the weaving like that. Cuevas got the tools.
Boy, Duddy just leaps off that stool. He wants to be first up. Interesting that in his pro career, 16 fights, he's only had 2 scheduled 10 rounders up to this point, and he's done it deliberately. He's decided that even though he had all those amateur fights, that this is a new world and that he didn't want to advance too fast and wind up being over his head. And not just selection of opponents, but I think that's been a very wise decision for him to you know, fight the 6s and the 8s and work his way up until he feels more comfortable as a full-time pro fighting at the longer distances.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Tim, because a little bit earlier I ran into a member of Duddy's camp and we talked about it. And he said, you know, they're going to start stepping up the level of competition now because he is 27 years old, or going on 27, and they know that there's not all that much time to fool around with him. You know, it's time to start moving.
Dad was a club fighter in Ireland. That's how he came to it.
Look at that left hook to the body by Duddy. Slides over. You only get left hooks like that in American gyms. He's got caught with that right hand backing up.
And you pointed out the low left hand. He finally paid for it.
You throw that shot, you got to keep your hand in position. Step to the side. Don't go backwards, and whatever you do, don't drop your hands. You step to the side.
See, as the fight goes on, the longer this goes, you can see Duddy, I won't say unraveling, but not quite as tight as he was earlier in the fight. Getting a little sloppier defensively.
Now the Irish cheering section trying to get their man to step it up here in this 4th round.
Now, Cuevas is shucking and jiving now, playing the time game, staying low, making him miss, extending the fight he's trying to do. And Duddy's got to move that into his repertoire too. I'll shuck and jive you a few rounds if that's what you want to do. Save your power until he wants to fight.
Cuevas definitely trying to reach that body blows and try and take some of the stamina out of Duddy's legs.
Good bobbing and weaving once again. That's how you shuck and jive. Make the other guy miss, because whenever you miss, all of the gas goes out of your tank. You got to sit down on the stool to get it back.
You didn't do much shucking and jiving.
No, I don't.
Outside.
They call it shucking and jiving.
In boxing since he's 9 years old. Golden gloves in Chicago. And now we're going to give it a try as he goes. His professional debut here tonight.
Back him up and shut him
And a
down.
real Irishman here, John Duddy,
Back him up and shut him down.
getting ready for round number 5.
Is he ever, Tim? I thought I would need an interpreter yesterday talking to him. He has got some brogue.
He's a dairy lad. Round number 5 scheduled for 12. And Cuevas lands a grazing right hand that got Duddy's attention the first few seconds.
I think that's the first good jab Cuevas landed.
Then Cuevas is starting to play the counter punches game pretty good now. You let him throw a few, drop his hand, and then throw your one in.
Might have taken him a couple of rounds to figure Duddy out and to time him, you know, because he seems to be getting the range a little bit better now.
Yeah, it's a little better, but the thing is, Duddy has that power. Whenever you got it together, he hits you with one of those knuckleballs.
Great equalizer.
Cuevas kind of a late starter, was in high school before he started to box as an amateur. Took a little time off after persuading his parents that he did want to box. He went off to college.
That left hook to the body again by Duddy.
Duddy just flicking the jab out, trying to load up on the right hand, but didn't land a clean shot. But he just keeps throwing him here. Nothing coming back from Cuevas. Duddy looking for an opening to land the big one.
Every time he pulls back, that right hand, Cuevas is right there on Duddy's chin. That's why you have a corner to tell you those things.
Right hand lead, that landed and locked Freddy Cuevas. He battles back, lands a right of his own, not a whole lot out by the time it got there.
Can't back away with your hands down.
The one
but the power.
Yeah, he has power, but the one effect it could have on a young fighter, and we touched on it earlier, is you kind of take a little of the confidence out of it, John Duddy. Don't forget, as you pointed out, only his third 10-rounder. May not have been hit this hard this late in the fight yet in his career.
Yep, that takes away a lot. You're out there getting punches.
It's not going according to plan like everything else has so far.
Yeah. You're going to have to fight at some point in your career. It may as well be tonight.
Well, boy, you couldn't put it any better than that. What a night indeed. I mean, this great card, a huge house in Madison Square Garden, top-ranked pay-per-view. I mean, this is the biggest stage he's had, and it's a great opportunity for him to show what he's got.
Right lead by Cuevas.
But he backs away, but he's flicking that jab a little more, not with the same sting on it he had earlier. He's throwing it backing up a little more. Cuevas has got his attention now.
Absolutely. If you notice, Cuevas is the fighter coming forward now.
Tagged him on the forehead with a left. There's some bruising and abrasions on the forehead of Cuevas, and there's again that right hand lead from Duddy.
That was a much better
It's
round.
turning into a terrific fight.
But you ain't gonna get no better if you don't step in. Step in with your punching.
See his trainer.
How you feel?
Mitchell wants him to step in.
How you feel?
He's backing up more.
I did. Step in with your punch.
Seconds left. You gotta take that round from him.
George Mitchell, good counsel for the youngster.
There it is. Sits up. Wait, boom, lead right hand, and he ducks under. Cuevas is waiting for a counter. Back away, throws a right, not so accurate, but he got it over.
It's Harry Keith who's doing the talking to Duddy in the corner. George Mitchell, the second.
I see it. I told him. Stop holding the head now, Johnny.
After McKinney Jr. saying, obviously Cuevas had pointed out what he thought was a foul. McKinney said, I see it. Letting him know who's in charge.
It's kind of like telling the umpire what strikes to call.
Right hand by Cuevas. Duddy comes back with one of his own and a good solid left jab again. That's been missing a couple of rounds. There's a right hand. That rocked Cuevas.
Boy, it seems that Duddy just gets mad when you hit it.
Well, he's Irish.
Don't make him lose his temper, Cuevas.
Good combination right up the middle that time. A much more contained combination.
Ooh, that right, the left hook to the body hurt. Trying to tell the referee it hurts, but he's saying it's below the belt.
Duddy's picked it up here coming forward.
Yes, he's turned around the momentum of the fight now. Now he's pushing Cuevas back again.
Sometimes these guys get a second win. Some guys can never do it. He's on the ropes. That's not a good place for Duddy. But that left jab has been, boy, it's been his savior tonight.
Good way to get him out of that situation.
Whenever you're in trouble, when in doubt, jab.
Cuevas just keeping his eye right on the midsection of Duddy. The old trainer's trick, you know, that move the head, you can't move the body. Ooh. Duddy lands two good combinations in a row. Cuevas' hands coming down a little lower this round.
Cuevas just seems to be certain that this guy's going to burn out and he's going to get him, so he's willing to take a lot of punches, but you just can't do that with a puncher. They'll hurt you.
He's running out of rounds.
And the good thing about it for Cuevas is that Duddy has not landed a lot of body shots. So as he gets weaker, Cuevas can be equally stronger.
Gold and elbow. Come on.
And a warning to Duddy for using his forearm there. Alfredo Cuevas Jr., the excellent referee.
There was a pretty good body punch there by Duddy.
Yeah, you got to get some body shots in. If you're going to go the distance, and make certain the other guy's not stronger than you are.
Watch your head.
Cuevas being warned to watch the head because he's been coming in lower and lower. It's a good strategy for him.
Boy, Duddy can hit.
And a wild right just grazing Duddy as he goes back to the corner, and that's the end of the 6th round here.
That was a very dangerous move that Duddy made because he pulled right back.
He's been doing it all night.
In the Cuevas corner, let's see what they're telling them there. Richie Espinosa, our translator.
You gotta throw combinations. You can't just stand there. Move, bob and weave. This guy has gone to the 8th and once to the 10th. This guy can get knocked out and you can do it. You gotta hit him low and go up with the hook.
Cuevas counter punching a good right hand only because his opponent drops his left hand. Just when you think you have him, Duddy throws that good quick right hand. Straight lead right hand and the hook on the side.
It's a nice little right hand lead, just a little feint with the left, and then he leads with the right. And he's got some skills, and it's all that amateur work that he had, more than 100 fights, and a very studied start as a professional.
His punches are just carrying more authority than Cuevas's. You know, even when they both land equally, you can just tell there's more on Duddy's punches.
Nice sportsmanship, nice.
Yeah, I like Duddy because he's a clean fighter. When you see a clean fighter, you better be afraid of him because they think, hey, I don't need to do anything. I can beat you. Dangerous.
Cuevas is rationing his punches now. I think he's starting to show. That'll slow down.
Right hand of the night.
Big right hand by Duddy.
Best of the night.
And now
hold on.
Yeah, he holds on. Yeah, I mean, this could be the turning point. He looks a little weary. He's got blood from the nose now. And he's a warrior.
In a left hand.
He did, and I think you'd expect that from an old pro like him. This guy's a professional. Body shot left behind, and now that blood from his nose really starting to stream. Duddy pours it on, and Cuevas pitching wildly here to try to turn the tide. Duddy backs him into the corner.
Ooh, it's not good.
Breathing heavily from his mouth now is Cuevas, and leading from the nose.
That stiff left jab by Duddy.
Yep, been the punch of the fight.
Again, there's the experience and the courage of professionalism of a guy like Freddie Cuevas.
Cuevas, a lot of instincts, But physical strength maybe be his failure tonight.
And he lands a right hand. Now, Duddy just stood there and took that. That's not a good idea. You don't have to show any macho at this point. You're in control of the fight.
Oh, that's too much blood. That's too much blood. Cuevas is shedding a little too much blood.
Duddy finished that exchange with a much better right hand than anything Cuevas hit him with.
He looks at Mercant. He wants him to look at Cuevas. Most of the blood is from the nose, and Cuevas still able to find a couple of openings, but he can't back up Duddy.
Ooh. Cuevas deserves a ton of credit here because he's not giving up.
No, he's not. Man, he's not going to go away.
He's gone away now. The referee's going to have to send him away. He just can't do that.
Now he looks leg weary, and he's exhausted now.
He's called for the doc. The referee's called, send him for the doc.
He's just out there on guts alone at this point. In the 7th round. And the doctor will come in and have a look at Freddie Cuevas here, a gallant fighter from Chicago, and he continued to give it everything he had, but Duddy relentless, landing it well.
The kid says he's having trouble breathing there.
I want to keep going, but
He wants to keep going, though.
all right. Okay, there's always another thing. All right.
Keep throwing it off. That's it.
And they're stopping the fight. Courageous effort by Freddie Cuevas, but it is John Duddy, the Irishman, Irish John Duddy from Queens, New York. And he goes to 17-0 with his 15th KO as a pro. An exciting start on the rise in the middleweight ranks. Look at that. Look at the show of this professionalism by Cuevas. Saying good defense, congratulating him. So that's the sport at its best.
And you know what? A smart move by Cuevas, because he basically told his corner, that's enough. He knew he wasn't going to win the fight. No need to get hurt at this point.
Well, he's got another job. He works as a technician at MCI. He's a bright guy. He's had some college and high school education, and he showed a lot of class.
That's what New York needs. Just the remedy. Big middleweight that can punch and bar.
I don't know, man, but hey, all I know is I gave it my heart. I tried my best. Mommy, papi, te quiero.
I gave it my heart. I gave it my
Duddy
best.
uppercut. Duddy jabs, looks for a hard right hand combinations. Straight lead right hand. That hurts.
And things are getting ugly at this point.
It's that thundering left jab. If he can develop that, this guy can be champion of the world.
Well, now there's something John Duddy needs to know. That George Foreman's assessment, that's pretty strong. Way to go,
That
George.
stiff left jab can take him on to a championship of the world.
All right. Tough weight class, though. A lot of good fighters.
But not any of them with left jabs. Power left jab. I started off very green, only 25 amateur bouts, but that left jab took me all the way to the title until I met someone who had a left jab equally. Muhammad Ali.
Would that be a guy named Muhammad?
Well, let's
You had
not
a
go
pretty
into
good
that.
jab, though.
Cut.
All right, enough.
All right, let's go up and get the official word from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 7. Our referee in charge, Arthur Mercandi, stops the contest upon suggestion of the corner. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated and still the WBC Continental America's middleweight champion, Ireland's John Duddy.
So John Duddy, he can enjoy this moment of glory. He's got about 5,000 ticket-buying fans here in support of him tonight. And this has been a tremendous night of excitement so far, and there's more to come.